Advantage of e-learning. Research shows that learning models are as good as traditional learning. Students express a greater satisfaction of learning through a computer and mentioned that their learning is more effective than in the traditional framework. The use of the computer favors more the online learning since it is more effective and interactive. E-learning indicates a slight improvement in students' achievements through the use of the computer. E-learning includes components that are familiar to the student in their traditional learning such as presentation of ideas, group discussions. E-learning has different ways of transmitting information and accumulating knowledge. The e-learning allows time to digest information and respond to their activities in addition to promoting greater commitment on the part of the student for their learning. There is greater communication among students while quality and knowledge can be transmitted among students through open discussion as in the case of forums. The e-learning allows the student to have answers 24 hours. There are no restrictions. The e-learning favors a greater motivation and participation in the learning process by the students. Difference between traditional learning and e-learning. Classroom discussion. In the traditional learner, the teacher speaks more than the students, while in the learning the student speaks as much or more than the teacher. Learning process. In the traditional learning, the learning is carried out by the whole class. There is no individual study. While in the learning and learning modes of the learning process can be in group of or for each student. Subject matter. In the traditional learning, the teacher directs the lesson according to a program of study and the current curriculum, while in the e-learning, the student participates in the determination of each subject, and his study is based on diverse sources of information. Impact in the learning process. In the traditional learning, students learn what and not how. Students do not yet involved in research-based education, but actually only perform the tasks set by the teacher. While in a learning, students learn how and least what. The student researches and collects information from adults back in the communication network includes material in different formats. Motivation. In the traditional learning, the motivation of the student is very low and the subject is distant from them. While in a learning, the motivation of a student is greater due to their participation in the topics and the use of technology. Teacher roles. In the traditional learning, the teacher is the authority, while in the learning, the teacher directs the students to obtain the information. Location of learning. In the traditional learning, the learning is obtained in a classroom and the school, while in the learning, the learning can be obtained without being in the exact place. Lesson structure. In the traditional lesson, the teacher uses the structure of the lesson and the division of time, while in learning, the structure of the lesson can be affected by group dynamics. Tense.